I've taken the liberty of creating some content ready so we can work with it quickly. And it's called Fun Stuff. I often can forget to put it into a publication, so I'm specifically recording it. Let's put that there. So one day when we publish everything together, you'll see the fun stuff in there. So the first thing I want to do is insert a video. It's really very simple. You go to a new line without any other para-related elements. Insert, video. I want to get the embed. Let me show you how to do that. So I've got Paligo Next Generation Video in here. Now, do not take this link at the top. This is not the embed link. It will not work. You need to go to Share, and there's a link you see slightly different. You copy that link. And other systems like Wistia or Vimeo have their own little ways of doing it, but you're essentially just looking for the whole, just for the URL. You're not looking for all the JavaScript. And if there is JavaScript, you have to extract the relevant part. But we're not looking for the JavaScript side of it, just that URL. So if I now go back into Paligo, I'll double click on here. I will paste that in. And there you can see the file ref has the link. So if you actually would want later to change that, then you can do. Let's just preview just to make sure that works okay. Preview HTML5. And there's my video. Okay. What's actually really interesting, this same way of inserting a video works for lots of other types of links as well. Let me show you an example of a publication I once created. And we'll go through it really quickly because I'm actually maybe doing another recording on this. But with the same way of inserting video, I can insert lots of different things. And I'll put a link to this as well for you. I'm actually on Spotify. Somebody interviewed me once. You can take the embed from Spotify. You could just take the embed as well from Google Docs or spreadsheets, and you can bring this documentation into Paligo. You can put a form from maybe Google or others. You can try yourselves. These are not officially supported integrations. They just work. And if they work, fantastic. If not, then maybe you need another method of getting the content in, a Google presentation. All works very simply the same method. You could even put 3D graphics, say from Sketchfab, same idea, or Lucidchart, which is an online graphic application. You can use Lucidchart, which is a graphics application on the web, and the latest graphic is always shown in your output. You can even use what's called image maps. If you want to have somewhere to click to a certain page in your help, you can create it in Lucidchart and it'll open. Just an idea, each one, just take the embed and play with them. So this Spotify link, let me show you how to take that embed as an example as well. So if I go into Spotify, I click on the three dots and there's an option called Share, Embed Episode, and I click on Show Code. Each product obviously is different. Then I will select this here. It seems to be up to the question mark, without the question mark. Copy. I'm going to go under here, Insert Video again. Double click. It pasted the question mark, so I'm getting rid of it. Tick. And let's do another quick preview. And there we go. You will notice the YouTube video does show as a preview when you save inside the editor. The other types of links like Spotify won't. That's okay. So say I want to change the link to these videos or embeds. That's very simple. I go to the video, add attribute, choose width and say 30%. And we'll go onto our Spotify link, same thing, width, 30%. And we'll do a preview of HTML5 and see how that works. And there you go. Both of them become smaller, so it's really quite simple to do. Now let's move to accordions. Accordions are drop-downs, as I'm going to show you. Sometimes you have a page with a lot of content, and people don't like scrolling down such a large amount of content, so we put drop-downs, accordions in there. So maybe when they open the page, they see four main big headlines, four main big headings, and each of them you can click to expand the content underneath. Very simple to do. And we'll do it on this accordion here. I go to the top, or I could even be on here, for example, and I go to the element attributes and I choose that second section level. This is an added section, and I put that here. We've learned about adding sections in the headings part of the training. And I'm going to add attribute called role. And I'm going to specify accordion. And if you noticed on the left here, there's an icon that appears as soon as you've put in the accordion. Now I'm going to preview this content. And you will see we have an accordion down here. I click on it and it expands for the text. You could also put an accordion on a topic. Now it wouldn't make sense putting it on this topic because as soon as it opens, the only thing you're going to see is fun stuff and nothing underneath. When you might want to do it, what you may want to do is if you're inserting topics inside of this topic, we'll talk about more in the reuse, maybe you want those inserted topics, which essentially look like sections like the one we've done here, to the end user, to the person using your content. We want that to have an accordion. So let's do that. I'm going to go to open second level heading in a different browser. I actually go to the top here of this topic because it's not going to be standalone. It's always going to be inside a different topic. I'm going to set this role as an accordion and I'm going to save and I'll close. Now, say I want to put that here as a section inside a section, another topic inside this accordion section of mine. We're getting expansive and creative here. So I'm going to go to Insert, Component, all part of reuse, go into Recordings, go into Topics, and I'm going to put in second level heading. And now let's preview to see what it looks like. Open our first accordion, and there's our second level heading also as an accordion as well. So when I insert a component and the top of that component, in other words, the section, has an accordion, then it's going to show as an accordion as well. There's another type of element that you can put an accordion to. That's called a sidebar. Let me just put one here at the top. Alt-Enter, sidebar. This is essentially a holder of content. It can be anything you want. It could be you don't want your accordion to be a full section. I once really for experimentation, I wanted an accordion, a drop down inside a table. I want a procedural list to be a drop down, but not the whole section it contains. So the sidebar is like the holder component, something like a div in HTML that I can put whatever I want in. So I'm first going to give this a procedure and we'll just call it first and second. I'm going to go to the top, which is the sidebar. I'm going to type the role again, an accordion, and I'll preview. If you notice, Paligo gave me an automatic title because I intentionally didn't put a title in our sidebar. So it looks like that. But if I go here and I go to the top of my list, bring up my list of elements, and I'll put a title in. We'll call it intentional this time. When I do a preview, you'll see now that the title has intentional to click on to open the accordion. So this gives you a lot more flexibility when it comes to what you want to show as drop-downs as accordions. The last thing I want to show you is something you might love to use or might not, but it's interesting to know. If you remember when we did inline elements, we have GUI labels and GUI buttons, the GUI elements, in order to define how inline elements look. But before I go and play with these, let's actually just use the XML tree view. And I want to move this section to here, further up for us. There we go. Okay, so I've used the tree view. So I could click on here, go there, and click a GUI button, as you may have seen. What I want to do is get a slightly different effect. So I'm going to just create a new line, just so you can see how this works separately. In a paragraph, it's been an inline element. Alt-Enter to bring my inline elements. I'm going to have something called a menu choice. A menu choice is going to give us a certain look and feel. Now, I can't type in menu choice, So I need to do Alt-Enter again, and it gives me the list of elements that I need. So for example, a GUI menu. And so I can now type in View. If you see, I'm still in the GUI menu inside the menu choice. Move my cursor out 1, and I'm now just in the menu choice. Alt-Enter again, I get that list again. So I'm going to put a GUI submenu, and I'm going to type Dashboard in there. Just like that. Let's preview to see what it looks like. And as you can see, I don't have them bolded, but you can see an arrow is between the two of them. If I use two of exactly the same type, so if I now go to, again, menu choice, and I go, say GUI menu 1, and I'll do the same again, GUI menu, and go 2, it looks slightly different. Let's take a look. You can see it gave a plus rather than the arrow, so it shows it's the same together. In this section, we've learned how to add videos and similar embeds. We've learned all about accordions, the different levels you can put them, and we've used menu choice as a different way to show instructional or command material.